Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It sure is a pleasure to be with you again. I just got off the phone with a lovely lady in California. She's a YouTube viewer. Chris is going to bring me in someone that said I was laughing at him. I don't laugh at anybody in terms of making fun of anybody. Uh, I do believe in karma, but I never do that. So I want to check that out and see what it is. But this morning I have about a half hour to be with you. And I really want to address this comment about the proteins, because someone sent me this long thing about these ridiculous 7-day protein tests where people go on protein in 7 days and they lower their blood pressures and blah, 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 blah. And that's all bull crap. I can tell you when you study proteins and you study health, there is no way protein is a healthy sort of substance. The body can't use protein at all in the first place. When you examine the digestive process of proteins, you find that amino acids is more the issue. The other issue is that when you look at the human body, it is not designed as a protein-eating species. It does not have the level of hydrochloric acid. It does not have the short intestinal tract for putrefaction. It has major absorption, which is much more than the omnivores and the carnivores. Carnivores are completely a different structured animal. There is so many reasons, and I've tried to give this out. There was a comment that this gentleman made. Let's see what your name is here, my friend. If it continues on here. But there was a comment you made about how it lowers blood pressure and controls blood sugar. Well, I'm going to tell you, I've seen well over 150,000 people, and I've had 40 years of this. Those people that are diabetics, check your blood sugars. If protein makes your blood sugar go up, especially when you're controlling it well with carbohydrates, fruits, and vegetables. Have a protein meal and see what happens to your blood sugars. Also, there was a comment made that, of course, when you have real kidney weakness, you can't do proteins because it hurts them. Now, let me see. When you have a weakness, protein can hurt it, but protein doesn't hurt you until you have a weakness. What kind of chemistry do you think makes the weakness in the first place? It's protein. Because carbohydrates don't beat you up. Carbohydrates are mainly base chemistry. So you're looking at protein, which is more the acid side of chemistry. That's the nitrogen side. And even though medical doctors have nitrogen all screwed up in their minds, too much nitrogen is acidic. It really breaks down. You have proteins that are not as acidic, and you have proteins that are very acidic. And you could say that about complex sugars. You could say that about starch too. That basic sugars are more base, and then the more complex chemistry, you get more acidic. And you could say that about all of that. But this ridiculous notion that the human body, that protein somehow makes the physical body better blood pressure, it's a blood pressure that goes up from proteins. Look at Dr. Oz. He took 12 people, took them to a zoo, took them off of their protein diets, which were causing the high cholesterols, which were causing all the kidney weaknesses, was causing all the cholesterols. He took them off of those protein diets for 12 days and put them all on fruits and vegetables, and what happened? Every one of them, all their stats came down. So I don't know where you're getting your stats and your figures here, my friend, but in reality, this is bogus. Any 7-day study is ridiculous. There's been years of study of protein consumption and the effect upon colon cancer. And last year was a 30-year study linking protein diets to colon cancers. I have people in here that followed the Atkins diet that lost their bladder, that had strokes, had heart attacks. It is unbelievable what proteins do. If you want to continue to eat protein, that's up to you, my friend. But this channel will not promote the use of proteins whatsoever. I've showed medical doctors this for years. It stills pain. It makes pain. It escalates pain in the body. When you take people off of protein, the pain goes away. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. So, I'm sorry, whoever, I don't know if I have the other half to have your name here, my friend. So I will say that don't get trapped in this protein myth that's out there. I've had medical doctors for years yeah, I think this is all part of this same thing, and I know you're trying to show over here as well some other issues with that. So here's another one about conclusions of a short-term high-protein diets alter renal hematology, basically high uric acid, blah, 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 blah. No kidding. All I can say is that there's so many reasons why that you would not do proteins. And I can tell you, there was a mention about bodybuilders in here. I've got a bodybuilder right now that if you mention high-protein diets, he'd probably cock you. He's just one of many that I have, professional athletes that now have rheumatoid arthritis. A couple of them are in surgeries now because of what the proteins did to the kidneys and the effect that that backed up into the lymph system, creating extreme acidosis, the extreme loss of calcium, and the loss of bone tissue, and then the end result of extreme body pain. Arnold Schwarzenegger is another example of that process. Some of these people have had to have open heart and stuff like that. There is absolutely no bona fide conclusion that one would have a high-protein diet. It doesn't fit in our species. It doesn't fit in chemistry. It's the acid side of chemistry. It doesn't fit in any shoe that you put it on. It doesn't fit anywhere. These 7-day tests and stuff, those are bogus type of craps. I don't go for any of that kind of crap. You're going to control your blood pressure with protein. You're going to control your blood sugars. Believe it or not, people think that. And sometimes, until you get on a raw food diet, do you really see the effect of protein on diet? You would if you were having starch and you quit starch and put protein. But when you get off of protein and you go on fruits and vegetables, you're going to find your blood sugar hovering down. Maybe some fruits will escalate it as you glucose load, but you're really going to see what protein does to blood sugar even. And it's amazing to see it. And I have hundreds of cases of diabetes, hundreds of cases currently right now, thousands through the years. And so I'm very aware of blood sugars. I'm very aware of protein and blood sugars, very aware of protein on kidneys, very aware of this. It's one thing to see a 7-day study. It's another thing to spend 40 years and 150,000 clients. And I look at all these long-term studies that relate to what happens to proteins on people. And none of this that you bring up here to me is valid at all in that, including the design of the human structure. So I will say this. Thanks for bringing it up. I do appreciate that. But it's enough to say that definitely, if you want to stay on a protein diet, you go right ahead. For this health channel, I want all my clients and my friends and my people off of protein, and you'll see the big difference that it makes in your health. And then go back on protein and show you what happens, especially anybody in pain or anybody with kidneys breaking down, anything like that. And you got to realize the same chemistry breaks you down at any level of the body. And protein doesn't just break you down when you're already breaking down. It's what breaks you down. You have to realize the acid side of chemistry is the corrosive side, and proteins play more in that ballpark than it does in base chemistry ballparks. Just the way it is. Got a lot to go over here. You guys inundated me with so many questions and so many beautiful comments. I can't tell you how much I love you all. It's been a long road. This protein battle is a good example. Plenty of medical doctors. Look at the natural hygienic group of people. Plenty of medical doctors in there dispel the protein myth. A lot of books written on that in the natural hygienic movement, especially around the early 1900s. A lot of physicians like Thoreau. There's just tons of them. Just wrote book after book. Even Fry wrote some on that, but lots of books. Walkers and your Eretz, and just tons of people. There's a lot of people beyond them that wrote about the effects of proteins on the human body. And so this myth has been just not put to rest. People just love to dig into this protein myth, and I suggest you lose that myth, and that you get into the foods that are designed for the human body. Regardless of what we've been doing to ourselves genetically, we have to reverse that. We have a serious genetic problem in our children, and we have to reverse that. And you can't reverse that on proteins. I've never seen protein rebuild the human body from a point of disease. I've never seen. You put a cancer, this is what medical doctors do. They put you on chemo and then they put you on high protein diets. You rarely, 2% maybe, come out of that alive. You put people on raw fruits and vegetables and you're way up there. And if you use the herbs, you're up at 95% come out of it. That's a lot. If I was in Las Vegas and I'm gambling and I could gamble here, I've got 95% chance I'm going to win $1 million. Over here, I've got 2 or 3% chance I'm going to win $1 million. I don't think that really gives, I think it's obvious which way you're going to go. Now let's see what this is, because I've never made fun of anybody. Maybe it was to laugh it off as something the normal YouTube viewer could easily cure. What are you talking about? I don't understand. I don't know what you're talking about. Laughing it off here. What it is. No one's made note here of what you're talking about. What condition it is. There's nothing you can't cure. If you think that's laughing it off, I'm sorry. But there's nothing you can't cure. I know how you all suffer. And if you've got that wrong from the way I conduct myself, then I think you've got something wrong here, because I take it all extremely serious. I think most of you know that I'm extremely serious about everything I do here. Maybe too serious. But when you sit behind my desk and you see what people suffer with, I take it extremely serious. So it's an insult to me that you think I laugh something off. And I don't take that well either, because really this is about helping you all get well. And, if you've got a problem, it's curable. Wake up to that. If you've been to physicians that haven't helped you, you've been to the wrong ones, okay? We have a planet full of wrong physicians. But you're on a YouTube channel that can tell you that you have the ability to cure yourself no matter what it is. Some things are real simple that you'd be surprised that medical doctors, and you've worked years and years and years and you can't get, but it's very simple to remedy it. There's a lot of that out there. And maybe that's where you took that. So I apologize that you took that wrong, but there are some things that are very simple. And I look at some of these medical doctors and I'm saying, they're not in a curative stance, which is jaw-dropping. It's jaw-dropping to a lot of people that not realize that the allopathic community isn't about curing anything. And people that have been walking down those roads, and you see it in naturopath as well. And it's frustrating to me to see the naturopathic community at such a low level of understanding of health and vitality. It's disgusting. So some people have been on long journeys to try to get well on things that are simple to get well on. And that's not laughing it off. It's a sad thing. So there's whatever you have here, my friend, it's all curable. The sad thing I see is a lot of people have parents and loved ones that have died from something that was very curable. That's what is upsetting to me. But, I care about people. I love people. I consider us all one. And so I get upset sometimes when I see our loved ones passing when they didn't have to. I believe that things are as they should be. I can't believe it any other way, because I can't judge the Supreme Being and why that person needed to translate or why that needed to happen. I don't try to judge that because I have no way and I don't want to know. That's like taking on things you don't need to know. That's like confusing you or adding so much to your plate, or very narcissistic or egotistical attitude, knowing. So if you've mistaken what I said, I kindly and want you to forgive that. Wait a minute, here's some of it Chris gave me. So if you've mistaken what I said, I kindly and want you to forgive that. Wait a minute, here's some of it Chris gave me. My girlfriend's dad has it in his lungs, and his life has drastically changed since his diagnosis. So hoping there may be something. Is there something in the lungs? Yeah, I don't know, but this is all to help you all. You know that. You know I love you all. I was talking to a nice lady this morning from California, Judy, really sweet thing, really got it. And I love talking to you guys that get it. She's got it. She's on the road, major skin issues, lymph. She going down the road. She's cleaning up. She's got a really good grasp on it. And that's what this takes. I've had a lot of years in this, and I've seen so many people, and you know, I've even cured a lot of the greats, and I can just tell you what it takes. But everything is curable. Don't get frustrated. Nobody's laughing at anybody here at all. That's a misunderstanding on somebody's part here. I will say that this thing on protein, please let's don't go down that road too many more times, because I can just tell you that I'm going to have the same opinion always. I've done so many years of research into proteins, it's not even hardly worth my thinking, because it's something that man's stuck on. When you're stuck on something that isn't true, you've got to drop it and get away from it, because there's so many bogus studies out there. It's ridiculous. When medical doctors ask me about double-blind studies, I want to throw up. 60 Minutes did expose double-blind studies. And basically in a double-blind study, who pays wins. And that wasn't me, that was 60 Minutes that exposed that. Many double-blind studies are done in medical doctors' offices with the wrong people involved. I mean, some of these studies are ridiculous, and I don't go by that. I want to know clinically, you're a client, a patient in front of me, or you, or whoever, can you get them well? Can they overcome their problem? Can they get that cancer out of them? Can they get those tumors out of them? Can they overcome cystic fibrosis? Can they beat that? Can they regenerate their body? That's what's key out there. And yes, you guys are going to learn and go way beyond me. You're growing so fast here. I'm hard to keep up with you guys. You're so good. So forgive me, there was a couple things this morning that had to be gotten rid of. And so forgive me for that. But the protein thing has been brought up so much. I can just tell you that your life will be so much healthier if you get your amino acids from your fruits and your vegetables, and you drop this whole concept of protein. Most of your immune response, your mucosic response, is to proteins. Proteins in milk, proteins everywhere. That's where you see the most mucus being formed in the body. That's the fight, because most proteins are acids. So there's absolutely nothing that is convincing to say that a protein diet is healthy for Homo sapiens. None whatsoever, anywhere. And I don't care who did them. Actually, you're seeing more and more of the opposite right now with Dr. Oz and a lot of these great guys like that who are got into raw foods themselves, and now they're turned on. And now they're gonna expose the truth. And I love that. I love people like him and good docs that are really tearing in that. They don't always have the top-end knowledge there, but at least they're really tearing that apart. And when you get into raw, boy, that's really good as a medical doctor, because then you can add that to your knowledge base. With some medical doctors, they have to drop, like this protein, whoever brought this, you got to drop that and go on. You're wearing that protein like it's a ball and chain around your neck, because you'll never convince my clients that that's good for them, because they've already proved that it's not. Let's see, I didn't get to that sheet yet. Let me see here. I don't know how you pronounce your name, but good dude here. Ishklia. Let me see here. Thanks for the comments there, my friend. You guys are really good here. Christy, let's see, quick question. Seem to recall in one of your videos discussing damage that lymphatic massage. Lymphatic massage, we had a beautiful soul working for us, Susan. I don't know if any of you had a chance to talk with her, but she overcame her cancer when she was here with us. She was well known to have done that. She even worked for us, a lovely soul, elderly woman. I say elderly, she was 67, so she was 6 years older than me. So she had a real aggressive massage once, real aggressive. It hurt her. And so she didn't feel good the next day, and she called. She said she had a lot of pain in her head and neck, didn't feel good. And then we didn't hear from her for a couple of days, and we sent someone over to her house, and they found her dead on the bathroom floor. So that was, a real sad thing. So it's enough to say that be careful about over-aggressiveness with your body, because you don't want to create blood clots and things like this. And that's what I think it was, or even an aneurysm, which when your capillaries are real thin and you have a parathyroid weakness, you get aggressive. You're going to herniate or open something up. Aggressiveness of the body is ridiculous in the sense that when you're acidic, you have a very anionic medium, and in an anionic medium, you can't rip that and tear it apart and make it just disappear. This is a process of base chemistry coming in and creating a cationic environment. Open the door of the kidneys, get the adrenals that controls that door, get them going. Open the door, get everything moving and go that way. If you get too aggressive, you can hurt yourself. When you're younger, not so bad. This lady, it either threw her a blood clot or gave her gave her an aneurysm, and that wasn't good. We all just about fried because she was such a sweet thing. But be careful. Rolfing and stuff, deep tissue work, got to be real careful, because these mediums have nowhere to go with the massage anyway. You're just needing the muscles and moving them around, but in reality, the kidneys have got to filter and move those acids out of the body. So you can use some things, but if you get too aggressive, what we just saw was not pleasant. So all I can say is just be cautious. There's no reason to be rough with things. Be gentle as much as you can. Neurolymphatic points, learn those. Those are a good chiropractor will know kinesiology. And you learn the neurolymphatic points. They're excellent points to use in emergencies. I had a guy call me with kind of a heart attack going on, what I felt. And so I showed him the reflex points to the heart and things like that. So learn some of these points, and then, boy, it's fun. There's so many neat things. I think I told you I pulled 3 people out of cardiac arrest with my thumb in their left foot. And we're this one, let's see here. People, of course, just set. I could the presence in the soul. Some of you sent me some great spiritual experiences. Oh, and I wanted to address the gentleman. Was it Mark or someone that I can't remember. That is one that said that they'd like to see the separate of the spiritual from the physical and stuff. Listen, man, I appreciate your comment, and I do know that I lost all my friends when I first got into this, because first I'm on the raw, and then I'm an OB, or I'm talking about the Supreme Being a lot. Sometimes we definitely associate that with fanaticism, and there is a lot of fanatics in that area. And so sometimes when I mention God too much, I don't want to become someone that thinks I'm a fanatic about that. But I'm just totally absorbed in that consciousness. And I don't know a better word for it. There's all kinds of words for the Supreme Being that the humans use. That which is infinite, that which creates all things. So, yes, in one way, this is why I focused more on health through these years than I had teaching spirituality, because it seemed like I knew that when I opened the physical body up, spirituality would blossom, and I didn't have to say a thing, and I didn't have to do anything. And that's what I learned. I learned that if I kept my mouth shut that way, that they were going to blossom anyway. You couldn't stop it. At the same time, though, I don't think at this time on this planet is a time that now truth has to come out at all levels. And for me, it's just a part of my beingness. It's like it's a part of Deepak. You wouldn't expect Deepak Chopra to not be a spiritual guy, because that's his beingness, and that's my beingness. And so it's just part of it. And some of these words I know are strange and stuff. It's like this gentleman made a great comment, this Catholic gentleman. I appreciate that, because I have a lot of nuns that come in to see me. I have a lot of priests. I have a lot of ministers. I have a lot of every level, from Seventh-day Adventists to you name it. and they even come to our classes. So all these different levels that I have, I don't care. I don't judge. Anybody that's a God lover, I'm a God lover with them. We might see things a little different. Okay. But that's what I love about most of you. Most of you are willing to just, spiritual succor. It falls on us all like the rain that falls over the land. God is like a sun that shines over all its creation. It doesn't shine on just selected people. I don't do well with people that think God only helps them and no one else. That we've got to lose. We've got to lose that. We have to understand the sun shines on all life. If you choose to look up and embrace the light, you so choose. If you choose to turn away from the light, you so choose. But I choose to embrace the light. And so I think if you go that way, you'll meet people. You'll know when to talk to someone spiritually or not. I think helping people to overcome their ruts are important. People are looking for some heart to open, some love, some embracing. And that's what I love about all you guys in YouTube. I have to tell you that you guys are, I just can cry sometimes because you guys are so loving and embracing that it makes us the same way. So we want to give back. And that's the key, is you give, we give, and everybody gives. And this is what we should have as a planet. Can you imagine a planet as good as this YouTube channel? Because this channel is a loving channel. I might get a little hair up my, on proteins and stuff once in a while. But it's only because this issue is just like a tape recorder winding the same message over and over again. And I understand that some people really are fixated in that level, and okay. But there's some things we have to open the door to new adventures and be willing to let go of some of this propaganda that's out there and get into some new levels. And so I do appreciate everything you say. And this no GMO, no crap. Steve, thanks so much. You're such a great guy here. Ovarian cysts, Paula, yeah. You've asked about this ovarian cyst. Get more aggressive if you need to. It will come out at your kidneys. As your kidneys are not filtering, those cysts on the ovaries can't go anywhere. So you get your kidneys filtering. You'll see them if you're still dealing with the little estrogen surges. You're going to see them maybe have a little growth at times. So the fact that you're slowly backing them down, you're backing them down, honey. So don't freak out. But get yourself deeper in detoxification. Put yourself on a 10, 20, 30-day great fast. Really get deeper into the tissues of the body, and you'll get this out. Just relax, sweetheart. You'll be okay. You're going to get this out, and you'll be good. And it's done. I've never seen anyone not be able to get rid of an ovarian cyst. I think I told you way back about the lady that had a 303-pound ovarian cyst. She was on Discover Channel. She had to lay her on the side and have a dolly under this cyst. 303 pounds. I didn't know a cyst could get so big. I mean, it was bigger than this desk. I mean, it's huge. Wow, it's amazing. So, sweetheart, just relax. You'll be okay, honey. Should we eat? Oh yeah, if you have low iron and anemia, definitely you want to fast. This is how you correct things. I would say that you could pump some green drinks, wouldn't hurt you, and that would invigorate the blood. So you could do the dandelion greens, the parsley, the spinach, beets. That's going to clean and enhance and give you a lot of good chemistry. But you want to clean up the bowels again. So you could do the dandelion greens, the parsley, the spinach, beets. That's going to clean and enhance and give you a lot of good chemistry. But you want to clean up the bowels again. You want to get the adrenals for the iron, the bowels for the fat, and you want to really get into cleaning up the body. Then your blood cells. When even the blood is in a base chemistry kind of stance. foods without enzymes and stuff make a thicker, more gluey blood, if you will. And so blood cells traditionally love to follow each other like choo-choo trains or cluster. And that's where you lose the iron carrying capacity and the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So by eating enzymatic rich foods, you pull these blood cells apart, and now your blood cells become individuals again, and then and that helps for the carrying of iron and oxygen, but also getting up the adrenals and the hemoglobins and getting up into the villas of the bowels, and it just comes down to cleaning and restoring the function of cells. And nothing is better than fruits, berries, and melons at that. And then, of course, your vegetables and your greens are good as well. But again, you know, in detoxification, you're getting closer to the water fasting levels. You're getting closer to the fruits and the berries and the melons and the astringents. Going to carry you deeper. But you can always use greens to refurbish. Alfalfa, great to help refurbish. But again, you need steroids. Steroids are key in all this processes, and that's the adrenals. Adrenal plays a big role in anemia. So you want to get the adrenals. And of course, you always clean out the liver and spleen. You know, there's another 2 organs you can really fix up. That's very helpful to clean the liver out. But at the same time, remember, the liver's nothing but a bunch of cells with 2 major fluids. The spleen, nothing but a cells with 2 major fluids. The bowel wall, the kidneys, the adrenal glands. So that's why I'm taking you guys right into the very core of why and what causes everything. And then you can sprout out from there. And then you can add a formula here and a formula there. Like Judy this morning, we're adding a liver formula and a skin. Her skin is really helping her to eliminate her waste, but not pleasant. So as she gets her kidneys, her skin's clearing up, she's doing well. She's a YouTube listener. She's been on the raw. She's starting the herbs. She's done well. Her skin's clearing up, but you just get dig a little deeper, and she's going to clear up much faster. Does take a while. This isn't a fast overnight thing, so don't get frustrated. If you feel frustrated, dig deeper. That's what I'm saying. Don't freak out. Just dig deeper. Fast if you have to. Whatever you have to do to dig deeper. But remember, the lymph fluid is a thicker, mucousy, lipid-based fluid. It's 3/4 of interstitial fluids, head to toe, and it's going to take you a while to move it. I've got a lady in yesterday, cancer, of course, and she's been on the program about 3 months, and her urine is still clear. Her urine is still clear. It's like, oh, I hate that. She's full of sulfur from antibiotic use, and sulfur is a suppressant to lymph drainage, so she's got a lot to work through, and yet she's got, active tumors and stuff going. It's like, it's just there's no magic. It's just keep working and digging, and sometimes get up on these higher levels of fruit fasting or water fasting. That's all that's out there, guys. That's all that's out there. But you know what? It's all the tools you really need. You really will get there. Just have some patience. We're here to help you. I'm going to walk this road with you guys. I'm right here with you. I can't pronounce your name either. A-V-N-I. Anyway, thanks, sweetheart, for your comment. You're the one that has a husband that you say looks like me. Here's Lucy. She's 24. 10 months ago, she had encephalitis incident. Then she's got mind fog, hard thinking at times, which scares her. She's got concentration problems, joint pain, extreme fatigue, headaches, rashes, etc. She's been on urine therapy. Well, okay. Now, you know your lymph system's backed up here, sweetheart, in your head. You know your lymph system's backed up. You know you have kidneys. You got the adrenals. There's extreme fatigue, headaches. You got a lot of joint pain. You're loaded lymphatically. You're very acidic. It's taking its toll up here. It's affecting serotonins and the like. So really, you really need to get aggressive with your detox. I want you upper circulation in the brain and nerve. Get up there, I'm just telling you, those 2 formulas, or find something like them. Get up there, get the blood moving up there, even though this is a lymphatic problem. Get the blood moving up in there, get that brain and nerve formula, and then really hit your lymph. Get the bowels cleaned up. That has a connection to your brain. Clean up your GI tract, stomach and bowels, whatever, lymphatic 1 capsules, and then by all means hit those kidneys, adrenals, and move those lymphs, because this is inflammation. This is acidosis, Lucy, and you're only 24. This is what I've been saying about each generation's getting weaker, honey. So grab this before you conceive and have children. Get yourself cleaned out here. She's been on the 80-10-10 diet. Yeah, you got to get up with the herbs. You'll find the difference between even the 80-10-10 diet, which is an okay, I guess. I'm not overly familiar with it, but I just say this. Get more aggressive. Get into the fruits, berries, and melons. If you have to get super aggressive here, get on the lymphatic formulas. Really start moving your lymph system, because your lymph system's backed up all through you. And this really has to be, you have to move your lymph, because this can then start to hurt you. And and this will correct all of these things that you're having here. Yeah, so really move your lymph there, sweetheart. That's all I have time for right now, but I will try if I have a no-show or something. And that beautiful thing, thank you, Judy. I used part of your time to address this, so thank you, sweetheart. We'll get back with you again. And thank you so much. Sorry for the little protein thing in the beginning, but you know what? Beating a dead horse. And just realize that a lot of these little short studies are worthless pieces of crap. Really, what really works is clinicals. What's going on, people? What do you see? And I respect those people that have been in clinical work for 40 years that have seen a couple 100,000 people. I respected Dr. Jensen's work. 75 years in the field and over 300,000 patients. I respected that guy. And I want to know what all he's seen. What did you witness? What did you go through? What did you clear up? That's the key, not these stupid studies. Key is what it works. What really works on people, not a lab. What does nature's lab show us? Look, use that laboratory. Thank God there's Dr. Oz's that like to get into other kinds of stats. Okay, this is great. This shows what raw foods actually do. But and thank you all so much. I'll still add my spiritual twists, and I do love y'all. Thank you so much, and have a great day. I hope to get to the rest of your questions at least this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Got a lot of them to go through, and just hang in there. And remember, if I can't get to you fast enough on this YouTube, call the clinic. They're here to help you, especially if you're hurting or you're in bad need. You call here and we'll help you out, okay? All right, I love you guys. Bye-bye.